And let's go to the Joe Higgins Kino Hospital news desk. Joe, the great, or maybe it's me, the great Becky Pollock. The one-sided story. Either she's like the Manchurian Candidate where they brainwashed her, or she just, I don't know what she thinks she's doing over there.
Right.
I don't know if it's the idea that if she keeps writing stories like this, and when the star finally goes belly up and they got to get rid of her, Chuck and Sam Negri just hire her in the PR department.
That is the retirement plan for the media. They go work for government.
You are correct.
Yeah, who do we got? Kimball. We got Sam Negri, worked at the Tucson Citizen.
You are correct.
C.J. Carmidjan is over at Pima Community College.
Okay, that's right.
Guess where the connection...
Cara Renee, Tucson Citizen.
Yep. Husband
to former Nina Trasoff Chief of Staffer. She's the public relations for TUSD.
Remember we did the Pima College connection with the Ekströms?
Yeah.
That happened when CJ brought him in.
Oh, that's
CJ
true.
Was big behind that. That was the one who's behind that. Found it out the other
Gets
day.
better and better.
Go ahead, man. Let's talk about Kino. What's
Baxter, we like to call her Baxter now. We feel like we're friends with her. Baxter says Pima County will give up $40 million to UMC, University of Arizona Medical Center's South Candy Cane campus over 2 years. Kino Hospital, Joe. Okay. Which, again, the state mandates that your county has a mental institution, mental facility, and that's what Kino originally started as.
And we've gone much beyond that.
It's Vegas over there. They approved the 2-year agreement. They didn't say what the vote was. Where was
I'd like to see
Ray and Ann on that
was
one?
Was that a 5-2, 5-1, or 5-0, or 3-2?
I don't know. We'll have to find out, especially people are running for election this year. The agreement is for payments of $1.2 million a month. You can fill a lot of potholes with $1.2 a month, plus $5 million a year for new programs or new equipment. The payments come with requirements for monthly financial reports and patient counts. Oh, thank you. They're so accountable there.
Chris, I think we're going to walk before we run.
Let's go to the Chuck Huckleberry. Let's see what we're going to say. Oh, Chuck says he'd like to sign a longer-term agreement with the hospital, but he said this is a, quote, walk before you run transition period. Again, another Becky Pollock where the really... we have, who do we have here? We have the only two people the only person quoted in it, Joe, is Chuck Huckleberry. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Hey, Becky, remember, there's this thing just invented yesterday. It's called Google. Go find it and go work with it.
Well, let me help Becky out a little bit, Chris.
Yes,
give a little backstory
Please.
On this thing. So when the county ran the hospital, in fact, Richard Carmona, you know who he is? Have you ever heard his name?
He was the backup bassist for the Rolling Stones in 74.
He was not the backup bassist for the Rolling Stones. Don't be goofy. Who was Richard?
Sorry.
Come on now. Tell us.
Former Surgeon General under George Bush.
Right.
He was an independent who just turned Democrat to run for Senate against Jeff Flake.
Oh, so he's running for Senate.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. He's got $500,000 in his war chest, and he's rocking and rolling at the U.S. Senate. Well, when he ran Kino Hospital, there was quite a few problems. There were some problems actually in the pharmacy.
What?
I think 500,000 pills, including large amounts of painkillers, went missing from Kino's pharmacy. The county paid out $111,000 in fines to settle the case, and they're entering into a management agreement with Kino and the high-powered lawyers. So they had little problems over there. They were losing $30 million a year, subsidized by your property taxes and your general fund and coming out of the county budget when the county ran it.
Keep thinking in your head, where's my taxpayers' dollars go? We know wastewater treatment's a big one. We know it's not going in your roads.
When you hit a pothole, start thinking of this. So $30 million a year is what we were losing. So we go to UPH Kino and said, take this hospital, please, because we're not good at running hospitals, which was, probably a good move to get out of the hospital business. But structured a 10-year. This is in 2004, so now we're 2004 is 8 years ago. We structured a 10-year deal, and the 10-year deal was for $120 million. We said, okay, Kino, you take the hospital.
Right.
The county is going to give you $120 million over 10 years. It's about $12 million a year. Remind you, we were losing 30. So
got it.
It works out.
Got it.
And the Kino said, okay, we'll take it over. UPH said, I'll take it. We'll do it. We'll do our piece. 5.5 years into the 10-year deal.
Yes.
They already went through the $120 million.
Wow.
So they go back to the Board of Supervisors in 2011, and they get an extension of $20 and $15 million. So keep working the math, $35 million. And the story came out that you just referenced, Chris. Again, this is now taking us through 2014, the original 10-year contract. We're all in at $200 million from Pima County subsidizing to the hospital.
So over a 10-year period, you're saying we have put $200 million of taxpayer dollars into Kino Hospital.
Yep.
Now again,
before that, it was $100 million for 4 years. So we're
what's $200 million? That's 4 miles of light rail, baby. Come on.
That's right.
That's one Death Star over there.
So I got a little digging, Chris. I said,
"Oh no!"
Probably because it's uncompensated care. Lots of folks coming in there that don't pay the
bill.
So
the healthcare barber trash man has to do the digging, and the quote investigative reporter just cut and paste off of Sam Negri's crap.
So guess what the uncompensated care per year write-off is, roughly? So we're giving them $20 million a year roughly over the last 10 years. What would be the uncompensated? Do you think 20
13.
million? It's 12. Good call. So it's $12 million that is uncompensated care. The rest is kind of going into, I don't know what, the hospital.
So
they're doing more services. They got a teaching hospital. I mean, there's lots of bells and whistles as to why this is happening, but it's a conscious move from the board majority to be in the hospital business at a big commitment.
Well, let me tell you. Let me take off my optimism hat and put on the old pessimist hat. Basically, this is a free health care for the South Side. Is that what we're talking about? Let's call the elephant sitting in the room. This is the free health care for the South Side to take care of the extrem Grijalva. We got to take care of the crew.
So you live in Oro Valley.
Is that what we're talking about?
You live in Oro Valley. So
Yeah.
what they're saying is we're going to take money out of your home
Yeah.
and we're going to put it down here in this hospital.
You are correct.
That's happening for sure.
And the things that they do build in my area for my taxpayer dollars, photo radar.
You've got a lot of photo radar up where you're at.
So the photo radar is in my neighborhood, but all the free health care is on the South Side.
You got a lot of money up there. You're rich. You're the 1%.
So what if I drove down from Oro Valley to Kino Hospital and said, I just can't pay? Do you think they'll write that off for me?
Probably not. If you have assets, they're not writing off. They'll chase you. That's the way. It's a private hospital, so it's a nonprofit, but it is a hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when you lose your axle in a pothole, you know that your money has gone into paying for free health care for the entire South Side. All right? Something that's supposed to be a mental institution basically is the emergency room for the entire South Side.
But wait, there's more, Chris.
Oh, no.
So we're going to stay right around that Kino.
Watch your time, Joe. You have 10 seconds. Oh.
It was a Sunday, a little cherry on top of that Sunday.
All right, we'll finish on the top of the hour. Richard Studwell's here. He's no stranger to these things coming out into this world. Wake Up Tucson, 10:30 The Voice.
1030 KVOI Cortero Tucson and 930 KAPR Douglas. The Voice.